He's very cold natured. He went to bed early pretty much every night. It was a busy station. He went and got into bed. And he was actually on a 2-person medical supervisor vehicle, but they still ran. They weren't just supervisors; they still ran medical calls too. So we had an engine and a tiller truck, and then we had this little medical vehicle. And he was a lieutenant on it. Great guy, and he slept with an electric blanket. And so I did my homework. I went and checked to see what kind of electric blanket he had, and it was a Sunbeam whatever number. And so the next shift, and this is back in the days where you read the paper, we didn't have cell phones and stuff. So I'm reading the paper, and I said, "Hey, Lou, what kind of electric blanket you got?" And he was like, "I don't know." And I said, "Well, you need to check it. There's an article in here in the paper. It said that there's a recall on electric blankets. They've been catching on fire. It's a Sunbeam, da, 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 da." And he was like, I didn't say another word. I just went on back to reading through the paper and stuff. And so like the next shift, me and another guy, God rest his soul, he's passed away too, Greg Wise. We ran oxygen supply tubing up under his bed, behind the blinds, under the lockers, and he was in the officers' quarters, and all the way outside into the apparatus bay. And Greg got a cigar. And so he starts puffing on the cigar. The guy goes to bed. He's got his electric blanket on. He's propped up and he's reading a magazine. And he starts blowing that cigar smoke in that oxygen tubing. Now this oxygen tubing, I am not kidding you. This is probably 30 feet plus of oxygen tubing. And I don't know if anybody ever wants to try this, you can do the calculations. There's a lot of friction loss in 30 feet of oxygen tubing if you're trying to blow smoke through it. So he blows and he blows and he blows. He takes another puff and he blows. Well, you're just like straining. So he's almost getting sick. It's just an old cheap cigar, Finally, we had this thing taped, old metal frame bed. And we had the hole taped right in a hole on the bed frame. And so this puff of smoke just does this number really quick. And the guy, I'll have to turn, he's like this way. And so he goes, he looks, but it goes away so fast that he goes back to reading his magazine. And he looks a couple times and stuff. And then here it comes. It's finally primed and it starts coming. And he's like, oh, he throws his magazine down. He gets up. He starts stripping the bed, and he's beating the electric blanket and all the stuff. And then he gets down on the ground. It's still coming out. He gets down on the ground and he looks under the bed and he sees the oxygen tubing and he starts following it like a hose. Well, I bail.